For anyone that's new here, my name is Niels Ulder. We're based here in China.
Over the last 5 years, we scaled 7- and 8-figure brands and learned a ton.
Now it's time to do our own.
Our head of operations, say hi, Russia. She came to China and we're doing supply chain, we're looking at products, we're doing all of that.
We keep this very casual. I share exactly what we do, all the mistakes and all the things that worked so that you can use them for yourself. We basically found an investor to buy a part of an existing brand that we acquired. It's a global selling business and they're already doing about $7-8 million a year on Shopify. And about $1 million of that comes from the global side and the rest comes from the US. So we said, hey, let's acquire the global side. And then there's so many problems with that. And in each problem, we see an opportunity to fix. So we think we can really scale that and build a big business around that or big business out of that. This week, what happened? Our head of operations flew in. So she used to live in China for 9 years or something like that. I really cherish to have people around me. I used to be wanting to do everything myself, wanting to have my own team, build my own funnels, build my own website, and just be me. And then over the years, that really shifted, and having people around me that fixed all of the problems in their own way. Then when you have success, you're like celebrating success with other people together. So I really, really appreciate that. And so she flew in and she fixed a bunch of issues. There's so much on my mind and there's so much on my head when it comes to this brand. We're about to set up, finalizing things with the investor. The website is almost done and we're building these huge support platforms. We're picking the last products. We're building all of the guides for customers to help them pick their product. And we just shot new pictures and they need to be edited and all of that. We're setting up the rest of the things. So the first order we're placing by the end of this week. And then basically she's helping to figure out the whole shipping process. The cool thing of being in China is if you ship your products from China, that you can actually get to see them, get to touch them, go to the manufacturer every week. Next week, setting up a system where here's where all the products go. Here's where the order comes in. Here's where we print the packaging slip. Here's what the process that the people do that kind of pick and pack it. She's working on that. And it's really, really exciting to see. I was a little bit under pressure because I thought, hey, we're probably going to launch on 1st of September. We have to finish that support platform. It's this huge deal. This will probably take another 100 hours of time to do it. And then she said, look, we have the 80-20 of it. We have something there. We have customer support in place. Don't worry about it. Like we'll get it done. It takes about 10 hours per product. So it's 11 variations. So it'll take 11 days. So I don't know if that keeps us from launching.
This doesn't matter. Like we can launch and then keep fixing this.
But that is so perfect.
Nobody's gonna die.
Okay.
It's all gonna be fine.
Okay.
I really appreciate that. And that helped a lot. And then we're just setting up the other teams. So there's a support agency that we work with. We've worked with them before and they're amazing. They track all of the data around customer inquiries. So we get about 10, 20 tickets a day. It's not huge, but someone needs to take care of it. Working with an agency, it's just so useful. Normally, customer support is always kind of like an afterthought. But I think if you build a brand, you have to have good customer experience. Your product should deliver good customer experience, but there's also shipping. We're already shipping a little bit slower. So I wanted to make sure that every time when people reach out, they have someone that responds immediately. So we have a live chat on the page, we have email set up. We're using Gorgeous as a tool, and we also set up the support platform through that with support articles and stuff. When someone messages us, basically have 2 part-time people that are managed by the agency, so we don't have to take care of that, and they respond in every time zone. So they're in Europe where we're selling, and they're in Canada time zone. So if someone is sending a message in the live chat, they can go back right away. And the products that we're selling is like they're a couple of $100 to a couple of $1,000. So it's really, really important that when people reach out, you respond to them, and sometimes they just have a simple question, you help them answer that, and that may make the difference between $1,000 having that purchase or not making that purchase. That's a really, really important thing. We just need to fix the last things with them and kick that off. The other choice that we made is to not advertise. So we have a great advertising agency that we worked with in the past, and they're amazing at growth hacking and scaling businesses. And they actually scaled this exact brand before. And initially we thought we want to work with them because that's the growth engine of the business. So it's really expensive to work with them. I think it's worth it because they're really good. And over time, the growth of the business to bring new customers in the business will all be through ads. But we also know that a huge part of the business just comes from word of mouth, referrals, LTV, things like that. So in the very beginning, we just wanted to see the benchmark. So we're migrating the store from, right now the store has US dollar and US domain, and you can only pay with credit card. So we're migrating the store, we migrated already, to make it local. So we localize everything. We have local faster shipping. We have local languages. We have local payment and checkout methods. We have Klarna and other methods for people to be able to break down their payments. All of that set up. So in theory, we should have a much better conversion rate, just organically by what's already coming. But then on the other side, because we're selling mainly in Europe, there's a lot more taxes that we have to charge. So the prices raise. So on one side, we have everything is more localized and it should do better. On the other side, the prices are higher. So I'm not sure if that offsets it, if that has a negative impact or if that has a positive impact. In the very beginning, there's so many issues we're going to have to iron out. No matter how perfect we do the page, no matter how well we train the support, there's always going to be something. There are going to be issues, and that's something that we're expecting. So we basically said for the first 30 days, let's not run ads, let's not spend money on it, let's wait. Let's just see what happens. Let's see how many customers actually come from where, and just survey people. What you can do through surveys is you learn 10 times more in a survey than you would learn in, months of advertising. So there's multiple different surveys that we do to just get data. We want to see, why do people buy? Where do people come from that they buy? What are our organic conversion rates and how does that look like? There's two main surveys. Actually, we have three. One survey we do with Triple Whale, and there's a free version of Triple Whale that you can check out. It's a post-purchase survey. So after the people purchased, they checked out, they paid, they land on the page that says thank you for your order. On that page, we put the survey and we ask them what led you to your purchase. And then we give them different options. We say Google or Instagram or Facebook, which are kind of like the marketing channels. But we also put like online article, I heard from a friend, so I got referred by a friend, or I bought from you before. So that way we get a really good ratio of what just the organic revenue looks like and where people are coming from, which percentages of people are like marketing people and which percentage of people are people that are coming naturally through, word of mouth, or they've bought before and they really like the brand and now they buy again. So the first one is for people that just bought, right? The other one is for people that abandon their cart. So we use a tool called delighted.com, and that allows us to do two surveys. One is a cart abandonment checkout. So if someone wants to buy, but then they don't buy, we ask them, hey, why did you not buy? And then we learn from them what's wrong. And it's like, yeah, I wanted to buy, but I wasn't sure if these, this accessory goes with this product. So I have to do more research. And then they abandon the cart. And of course, then they're never coming back. Whatever it is, those are really good information that you can use, because then those information immediately go back into the website where you fix all the things that are wrong with the website, where you make it more clear for people, build more trust, or just in general, fix the problems that people have. The third survey that we do is an NPS score. And I have whole videos about that on this channel, but NPS score is Net Promoter Score. So what that does, it tells you whether or not your brand is good, or how good your brand is, how well people perceive your brand. That survey is only asked in email once people already received the product and already used the product. If you ask them, 2-3 weeks after the purchase, after they used it, now you get the true experience. You don't get the excited buyer that just purchased, you get someone who really has the experience, who spent the money and who used the product. And then we ask them, on a scale from 1 to 10, how likely are you to refer to a friend? And that question is so strategic, because if they say 9 or 10, then we know they're our fan. If there's anywhere between 1 and 6, they're a detractor. So they will actively go out of their way and talk shit about you. They're like, I like the product, but the shipping was horrible, don't order from them. They give you negative word of mouth, negative referrals. And then there's the middle, kind of like the 6 and 7, or the 7 and 8, whatever that is, and they're just passive. They're not going to promote you, but they're not going to talk shit about you. So that's kind of like, you don't really care about those people. That gives you a score. So you take the negative and you deduct that from the positive, and then you either get a negative score or the positive score. If you have a negative score, stop what you're doing. You're not ready to scale. You have to fix first what's broken in your business, because if you now, put fuel on the fire and you turn on the marketing and you really do things, now you're compounding negative word of mouth. And that's why normally the CPMs go up too much in your ads, and why people stop buying, why over time, drop shippers die. On the other side, if you have a positive score, now you have compounding on your side. So that means if your CPA is just on break even, that's okay, because you can be sure that the people who bought from you will recommend you to others, and then they will buy. So that's like this self-reinforcing loop. And then the very last thing is emails in general. So in China, we're actually running an email agency for Shopify Plus businesses, and that's how we make our money. Because of that, we know everything about email. We have all the right templates, we have all the right strategies. We generated $12.5 million in revenue last 12 months with email. So We know what we're doing there. And basically now that team is setting up all the emails. So we're setting up 3 flows. We're setting up a welcome flow, so we have a pop-up on the page. Of course, some of these people would have bought anyway, even though, you know, they didn't get the discount, they would have still bought. Why give them a discount? Like, because net, it still makes sense, because some people, that's like the last push. And then also, that is the main email collection thing that you do. So you're going to collect so many more emails on your pop-up than you're going to do on the checkout or anywhere else. And people have to consent in Europe to receive marketing messages. So if you have a pop-up on the page that says get your 10% off coupon and people sign up with their email, you have to have a double opt-in in Europe, where then when people receive the email, there is a, are you sure you want to receive emails from this company? They have to say yes in order to receive the email that gives them the coupon code. Yeah, but now they gave you consent, so now you can send them more emails in the future. And the brands that we work with generate about 30% of revenue from email. Your email list is such a huge asset, so we're willing to give away some, you know, some discounts for our products. Oh, and just one side note, if you're selling in Europe, what we tested, if you have the pop-up, people have to consent. So there's 2 ways. You can have a checkbox on the pop-up where people have to check the box and say, I consent. The other way is just to not have the checkbox. They receive an email that is a double opt-in email. So that double opt-in email say, are you sure that you want to receive, you know, emails from this company? And then they have to actively say yes. Then they get a second email with the code. So it's this whole hassle. But what we found in our recent split test is that the double opt-in works better than the checkbox. So that's just, you know, just giving you that as a side note. The other things that we do when it comes to email, the next most important one is the cart abandonment flow. So that's a flow that encourages people that abandon their cart and gives them chances to buy again. It also encourages them with discounts. But we send more things. We send another email with just reviews. We collect reviews from customers and we send that in an email for someone like, they're on the fence, they're not sure if they should buy it or not, and then, you know, we give them that, and a lot of times it gives them the last push, the last social trust, or we share KOL videos. When we work with influencers in the past, we share that so people can watch that and actually just learn a little bit about it. We just look at what is the content we like people to consume before they make a purchase that is beneficial for them, or that, you know, has information that they need to make a buying decision, and then we just feed them that in email. And then the last one that we do is post-purchase. We realized that the best time to sell someone the next thing is right after they just bought, because now they're excited. So that's where the post-purchase flow comes in and where that's really important. So those are the 3 email flows. Summary: Russia is still here for this week. So we're trying to, you know, finalize the deal with the investor, place the order. Russia is here to organize the logistics. We're having customer support onboarding with the external team. We're setting up all the marketing automations like the emails. And then also with that goes all the advertisement pixels. Just because we're not advertising doesn't mean we shouldn't have a pixel there to collect you know, user data. So that's definitely something we do. And then we're going to install Triple Whale and the surveys. It's a lot of shit this week, but that's what we're going to do. If you have any questions or you want to know anything else, put it in the comments. So then what I can do is I can give you the update, and in the end of the update, I can answer your questions. So just put it in your comments, ask me your questions, anything that you want to know. And then next time when I do the next update, I'll share those answers with you. Enjoy the other videos. We do more talking heads and more things that are more value driven for you specifically. So make sure you subscribe and watch those as well, and take care. Cheers.